Hey everyone, this is Tiffany.
And Ryan.
And welcome to our Rush Creek podcast. Join us each week for conversations, stories, and encouragement you can take with you anywhere.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rush Creek podcast. We're so glad that you joined us for another episode. As always, we're so glad that you join us each and every week. Wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe so you can get our weekly releases every Monday so you can join us each and every week. And I am Ryan, as always, joined by my wonderful co-host, Tiffany. How are you, Tiffany?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And we are joined today, a monumental day in the podcast history. We are joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Oh, drum roll.
Yeah, exactly. We should have gotten some music put in there for you. Marty Collier, lead pastor of Rush Creek. How are you, Marty?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good.
We're good. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
This is long awaited. Man.
I don't know about that.
It's been in the works we got your rider. We talked to your agent. He flew in on his helicopter earlier.
Right.
Like it was the whole thing. No,
all the things.
It wasn't a helicopter.
People are unsubscribing right now.
It was a private jet. Calm down.
Speak.
All right. So, we're glad that you joined us. And our goal for this episode really is for our people just to get to look kind of a peek behind the curtain at who you are. A lot of people might see you, hear you preach on Sunday, especially our people here at Green Oaks, but maybe our people at other campuses haven't got that chance to interact with you a whole lot. And so we just wanted this episode to be an opportunity just to get to know you a little bit and give our people a peek behind the pastor. I think our working title of this episode is the man, not the pastor. I think I'll have it changed to man, myth, legend, and pastor on the weekends. But
Love it.
So just kind of getting us going as we start off our episode together. Tell us just a little bit about you. I mean, we'll get into some of your things you like to do outside of church maybe a little later, but just kind of give us a quick rundown. How did you come to know Jesus? What's your kind of faith story? And then how does that go into call to ministry, how you became, how you got involved in ministry, things like that?
Sure. So the real short story version of it is grew up in a great Christian home. And so I got to see what it looked like for each of my brothers and sisters to trust Christ and follow through with baptism. And so when I was 8 years old, I'd heard the gospel hundreds and hundreds of times, but at that moment at that morning service in the adult worship service, I just felt like the Lord was saying, hey, I want to have a relationship with you and I want to forgive your sins. And so I did not respond in the invitation that day. I just asked my dad if we could talk about that. And so that afternoon, my father, who has since gone on to be with the Lord, actually walked me through the gospel. And what's really cool is I have his Bible that he used to lead me to the Lord.
Oh, wow.
Even today. And so I accepted Christ at 8 years old. I was baptized that night when we used to have night services.
Sunday night service.
Went straight back.
Yeah.
Was baptized that night. And then when my dad died, I was 13. And just so happened God, in his sovereignty, placed a student pastor at our church that very same summer. And God used that man just to invest in my life and to allow me to see ministry from a different perspective. And so at age 15, I really started sensing the call to ministry, but didn't make that public until I was 16. But and I've been doing vocational ministry work since I was 19. I started my freshman year of college and haven't looked back.
That's awesome. That's a awesome story, just God's faithfulness
Amen.
In your life. And,
for sure.
And just how he works. And you've been, like you said, in full-time vocational ministry since then.
Yeah, I mean, full-time or part-time. Obviously, when I was college, it was more part-time, but
part-time in ministry is full-time. Let's just be honest. Okay,
it's all full-time.
This is true.
It's all full-time.
This is true.
And a special thing we're about to celebrate here in a few weeks prior to this recording, you being here at Rush Creek, how long?
20 years.
20 years. Here at Rush Creek specifically.
Yeah. That's not obviously me lead pastor, but they're counting the times that I was a campus pastor at Miralagos all the way through the current date. And Stephanie and I and our family have been here 20 years. And if you included our previous time, it's like 24 years.
Wow.
Because I was student pastor here 98 to 2001.
Wow.
So
Golly.
pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years just in one church. I mean, two different, campuses at Miralagos and Green Oaks. I've told some of our people, like, in the pastor world, that is not normal.
It's not. It really isn't, Ryan. And it's unfortunate because you get to see a lot of people. When I came back in 2005, I would say I spent the first 3 or 4 years doing a lot of weddings of students that I had when I was their student pastor, 98 to 2000, 2001, awesome. Which is really, really cool. It's a blessing to be able to have that longevity.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so taking pastor away. Okay. I know that's hard to do because that's been 20 years. If you were not a pastor, what job or what would you be doing? What would your life look like?
Yeah. There have been times when I have been a pastor and I've asked that question because there have been other things that's like, okay, Lord, are you calling me something else? Yeah. No, I've always, and Stephanie would say even to this day, I've always been interested. I think that if I were not a pastor, I would probably be a police officer / detective or something. It's always been something like when I've done ride-alongs with police officers, I've got great friends that are police officers. And so I always loved that as a kid and even a teenager. And if I couldn't do that, like the job that really doesn't exist, but I wish it did, would be an Ironman triathlon chaplain. So in the perfect world, you get to travel to all of these exotic places. You get to be with the professional Ironman athletes, and you're just kind of their pastor, chaplain, because a lot of these athletes, man, they've spent their lives investing in their training. And a lot of their marriages are rough and their family life can be tough. And so I love that, that group of people and endurance athletes. It's just been something that I've really enjoyed. So obviously that's not a real thing. And I'm not a police officer.
If it becomes a real thing, that second one, can we talk? Can we talk afterwards?
Yeah, let me know if you find out.
Because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, for real.
Let's touch on that for a minute because I had that on my list to talk about. Okay. Something people may or may not know about you. Or so tell us just maybe about some of your hobbies that you like to just kind of engage in outside of church, and then I want to go back to the Ironman thing.
Okay, yeah. I love running, and there are seasons in my life I do it more. I'm not in one of those seasons currently, meaning I may run a couple of times a week, 2 to 3 miles, but I've definitely been in seasons where I was running much, much more than that. I just love endurance sports. So something fascinating about just going out and running 12 or 13, 15 miles. People who don't love that kind of thing look at you like you're absolutely insane. What are you thinking?
I know. I'm like, goodness, I don't even.
But somewhere along the way, I fell in love with it, and I had a guy when I was serving in Alabama that really introduced me to triathlon, and he was in the Coast Guard. It's the first time I really had swam in a competitive way, and then started doing endurance swimming and biking, and then he's the one who got me to do my first small triathlon. It's called a sprint, shorter distance, and I was hooked from there.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanna lean in here, Tiffany. I'm sorry, but
it's fine. It's fine.
We've got to go
here
just because I'm with Marty. I love endurance stuff too. So you started running, fell in love with it, started biking, swimming, and then you jumped into these triathlons. How did you first, before we get there, you've worked your way up. You worked your way up to an Ironman in what year?
Okay. I did an Ironman in 2000 I believe it was 2009 and then I did one in 2013. And then I did my last one in 2015.
Good Lord. Okay. I didn't know you were 3-time. I didn't know it was 3-time Ironman. So that my respect level goes up a little bit. So explain to our people, triathlon, it's
a swim, bike, and then a bike, and then a run.
But the Ironman just kind of takes it to a different level.
The Ironman distance of a triathlon is you swim 2.4 miles in the ocean, and then you bike 112 miles, and then you run 26.2, a marathon. And your goal is they pull you off the course if at any point you cannot finish within 17 hours. So you're given 17 hours to finish. And I'm thankful that I was healthy enough and able to finish all 3 of mine in much less than that, but never been pulled off a course, and thankful for that. It's a lot of fun too.
Oh my gosh. That's I love hearing that.
Ryan is nerding out.
I am.
Right
I
now.
really am right now. So
Hey, I would be
love
on
it.
the sidelines cheering. Can people do
That's
that?
so
Like that would be
important.
me. I would be cheering for you.
It's so important.
I'm not
The
doing it,
cheering
but
is.
I will be cheering.
Yes, it was inspiring for me to have my kids and Stephanie, and I would say that role as the spectator can be more difficult than the actual racing, because
Can you say that again?
yes, the role of especially keeping up with 3 littles.
Yep.
While you're trying to make sure that you get the perfect pictures of them coming out of the water and this short transition time of getting on the bike and going out for the run, that kind of thing. So Stephanie was an absolute trooper. And so one of those Ironman races was in Texas. The other 2 were both in Florida.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
We'll
Great
move on.
memories.
Sorry. This isn't an Iron Man podcast. I get it. Whatever. Thinking about endurance, or just kind of your hobbies, things like that. That was probably a goal at one point for you.
For sure. Yeah.
If you had to think now, just where you're at, doesn't have to be endurance or anything like that. What's something that you've just got on your plate right now that you're working towards outside of Rush Creek? Any projects or anything that you're working on that you're like, really, I'd love to accomplish this soon?
Yeah. When I think about things that I would love to do, but I've not yet achieved, I would still love to do an ultra marathon.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the mountains, somewhere. Obviously, that'd be challenging because of the elevation, but would just love it. I think. I don't know if I'd love the training, but I'd love the idea of racing an ultra marathon. And then, just personally for marriage, never taken Stephanie to Europe. And that's kind of one of these things that we've talked about multiple times and just haven't done. We're just kind of in a new life stage of empty nesting. And so it was not something that we could do easily when our kids were younger. And, but I wish we would have done that earlier, but we still hope to be able to do that. And I'm still holding out for her and the church letting me do tattoo sleeves on both arms.
There we
but
go.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen or not. It's a desire, but I don't know that
I'm
I'm
all
ever going to
for
achieve
that.
it.
I am all for it. If it were my decision,
It's so
It's
funny.
not.
Some
and it is
people are
definitely
either
not,
not.
but
tattoo people and some people are not. And I just have been a tattoo guy for a long time, and I don't even have very many, but it's one of those
funny.
things where I think I could probably go pretty crazy with it if I let myself.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Stephanie. How long have y'all been together?
Yeah, so I'm going to say married because that's easier math for me, Tiffany.
Okay.
27 years married.
Okay.
And then we met, we were only engaged. We were engaged for about a year and then and dated for about a year and a half. So a year and a half a year, about 6 months dating, engaged, and then no. Dated a year, engaged in November.
Stephanie's correcting you right
She
now.
is.
She's
She's
watching.
actually off camera, everybody.
And
No, I'm
then-
just kidding. She's not here.
And then we're married that next summer. So, we met at Ouachita Baptist University, where Davis, our youngest son, is now.
Yep.
Tried to get all 3 of them there, but at least we got one.
There you go.
know?
1 out of 3 is not bad.
It's not bad,
Yeah.
right? That's what they say.
So, do you remember? I don't know, because you may not remember the date, so you may not
What are you
remember the
saying,
moment.
Tiffany?
But do you remember?
Are you saying that I'm old? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all.
I can't
not
believe
at all.
she's saying you're catching this on
Do you-
tape.
Do you remember your first date?
I do remember our first date because it was the interesting story is, so Stephanie was part of, at Ouachita, we didn't have fraternities or sororities. They were just
Bible studies.
social clubs.
Bible studies.
Bible studies, prayer time. No, she was part of a women's social club called the E's, and they would have big brothers, and all the guys social clubs would have big sisters. And so I was a big brother in her, I'm going to call it sorority. And so anytime they would do a big outing or an event, they literally would put all of the big brothers' names on a chalkboard or a whiteboard, and someone in the club had to ask us, at least give us the opportunity to go if we wanted to. And so I was in ministry at the time, serving at a church, so I did not go on a lot of the events. And so when it came to my name, I wasn't in the room. This is what Stephanie tells me, that she's like, sure. They're looking at names and they're like, who's going to ask Marty? And she's like, well, I guess I will. And they said, well, he's going to say no because he's in ministry, and this particular event was a weekend outing to Memphis. And so they knew that probably I was going to say no because I couldn't be away from church and that kind of thing. However, because she's a pastor's kid, grew up in a pastor's home, she understood that. And so she called and asked, and I said, actually, let me look and see, what weekend it is, and called her back and said yes. Because she said, if you want to drive back Saturday night, I'll come back with you, and that's fine.
Oh, wow.
And so our first official date was that outing. And I really didn't know her well before that. And she didn't know me very well. We knew of each other. It's a small school, you know everyone, but we were just acquaintances. In fact, I think the first time we ever spoke, we were in the cafeteria, and I saw her putting, I don't remember if it was water in her cereal or eating her cereal with a fork. I know, it was bizarre.
The fork is okay.
She was in this season of like counting calories and no fat. I mean, all this stuff. She laughs at it today.
Water in your Fruit Loops is crazy.
I commented on, what are you doing? And she said she still remembers that. I'm sorry, awesome. I wasn't trying to
much judgment.
humiliate her. I was just like, what? I've never seen anybody eat cereal with a fork, and she didn't want the milk. And I think that's what it was. And then when she called me to ask me to go to the outing, and then our next time that we even talked really was she brought over the sweatshirt, kind of the swag that we would need for the outing. And then after that, a 3 or 4 hour drive to Memphis from Arkadelphia, Arkansas. And you get to know each other really well.
I was about to say, what a way to get to know each other.
Yeah.
It was either going to be awesome or is it going to be a disaster?
Yeah.
And I was praying, and she was too, that it would be awesome. And it was.
Wow. That's cool.
Just really, really comfortable in the car, laughed a lot together, and we had a great time that weekend. And that was just the beginning of what the rest of our lives were going to look like.
How soon after did y'all start dating after that initial?
So it was on that road trip.
Right,
they were like,
right,
this is
right.
it.
We pretty much declared right then. No, she would
he proposed
say
on the way back.
Yeah.
Actually, he
It
already
was
had the
Bible
ring.
college.
That's right.
Found your spouse.
She would say that within that drive, that she sensed like this is probably going to be the guy that I spend the rest of my life with.
That's so cool.
And though I would not have articulated it that way, how I've articulated it is just that I could tell over that weekend, and especially on the drive, no offense to any other person that I'd ever gone out with or hung out with, like she was just different than anyone that I had ever met before in all the best ways. And so I knew that, man, I've never dated a woman like this. And so, yeah, we came back from that and started dating immediately. And then I graduated after that next semester. So a really cool God story. I know this is not really all about my faith. It's just about the person, but it's hard to separate the two. But is that I had to stick around for a last semester. So I was supposed to graduate in 4.5 years. Not 4 because I came in on probation and had to prove that I could even get a degree.
Probation, or
that's correct.
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay. Just
that's what he's going with. That's the story.
Not that kind of probation.
That's the story we're going with.
Remedial everything. So the first semester was kind of a wash, which meant it was going to take me 4.5 years to graduate. And then in October I was supposed to graduate in December, and they called and said, man, we've made a miscalculation. You have 7 hours where you need 12 to be a full-time student, keep your funding, all that kind of stuff. And so long story short, I had to stick around that final semester and just knock out a few classes. But had I not, then I would have graduated and not even gone on the outing in the first place. And so not only did I get to go on the outing, but with Stephanie and meet her, but I also got to stick around and us date that final semester. And then we dated that summer, and then I moved to Fort Worth and started going to seminary.
Wow.
So then we were apart for a whole school year, and then we got married that next summer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome story. Well, that first outing was great. It sounded like.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Going to and the thing and coming back was great. Any disaster dates you remember, like where you're just like, oh, this was,
man,
and you're like, hey, I did not do this one very well, or maybe it wasn't even you. It was just like it just didn't pan out.
You know, I will say, and I'm embarrassed to say this because I think Stephanie and I have an incredible marriage, and we've prioritized dating in our marriage. But we have had multiple bad dates.
Yeah.
Where inevitably this is what happens. Just a little lesson to any married couples out there is that we end up allowing ourselves to have a conversation that we should have never had on a date.
Yeah.
Meaning, in marriage, you always have some of those buttons that you know when we talk about this, it's just going to be difficult. There's going to be emotions involved and all of these kinds of things. And inevitably, I can't tell you the number of times that we've driven to Fort Worth looking forward to dinner, but somewhere along the way between Arlington and Fort Worth, we end up landing on that subject to where now we're sitting out in the parking lot waiting to go in the restaurant, trying to get unmad or trying to resolve and reconcile this thing. And it's just like, when are we going to put boundaries to say, hey, we're not on our night together. We're not going to talk about these things.
Yeah.
That's for like a Friday afternoon or some other time when you don't have something special planned. So I can't name one, but there's definitely a few like that would be very similar.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and two, you've already brought up your kids a little bit. Tell us a little bit. You've got 3 awesome kids. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, I mean, we're so proud of them. We have Anna Kate, who is now she's 22 and she's at Texas Tech going to grad school to be an occupational therapist, just like her mom. We're really proud of her. And then Cole is a junior at University of Arkansas, and he's 21. Just turned 21 this year, and Davis is 18, about to be 19, and he's at Ouachita Baptist University. So it has been incredible. This is a new season of life, so we're just figuring this thing out, not having kids in the house.
Yeah.
But man, I would say apart from my salvation, no offense to the church because I love pastoring and all of that, but apart from my salvation and my marriage to Stephanie, there has been nothing in my life that's brought me greater joy than just watching our kids grow up from little toddlers. It wasn't easy, but from little toddlers to all of their theater shows to their field days and all of the different games and performances and all of that. And then to watch them grow and mature has just been pretty incredible. I think it's Luke chapter 2:52, maybe, where Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and people. And I just see that progression where you watch them grow physically, but you also are watching them grow in their maturity. You're watching them make decisions that you're not necessarily telling them to make, and you're watching them grow in their relationship with the Lord and just with other people, to get word from other people that, oh, I saw your daughter in church today, or I saw your son joining our church today or helping lead worship at this event. And I'm like, oh, he didn't even tell us that,
Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
They're doing these things that we would hope they would do, but we're no longer in a place where we're telling them to do it or encouraging them even. It's kind of, we're kind of more in that friendship zone, whereas earlier it was the training and the disciplining and the coaching, if you will. And now it's just a lot of fun to have conversations with our adult kids and to watch God move in their life. It really is a joy.
That's awesome.
So as they were growing up, thinking back when they were little, what was your favorite thing to do with them? Like, some dads, like, they'll get down on the ground and pretend like they're, a lion going across the safari and all this stuff.
And Marty's going to do a demonstration of that right now. So
we'll move the table all the way. Coloring pictures.
I'm not gonna.
But like, what was your favorite thing to do with them as they were little?
We had little traditions. So every birthday, we would have a birthday daddy date. And so it'd basically be, I'd get home from work and take them anywhere they wanted to go. And it used to just be like Chick-fil-A or Davis was always my pizza one. So he wanted pizza. And then we would go to their favorite stores or something they wanted to do. So if it's my daughter, Anna Kate, if she wanted to go to, is it called Claire's? Whatever.
Claire's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking at jewelry and earrings and things. And then my boys were GameStop for a long time when they were in that season, always looking at the newest game or something. And so we would just go and do that. And then we would have dinner as a family. But I'd get 2 to 3 hours where we would do that. And then one of our kids ministers years ago encouraged Stephanie and I to kind of reshape how we thought of Valentine's. And instead of it just being a night where Stephanie and I went and spent a lot of money on each other, we started making it a family night where we taught our sons and our daughter what it looked like for us to go out. Meaning we would just go and not go to an expensive place, but a nicer place than a fast food restaurant. And I would just teach the boys of opening the door for their mom and their sister, and then, how to order and look a waiter in the eye and speak up. And then I would let them see the tab and literally just kind of help teach them in their planning that, hey, these things cost money. Like, you need to be ready for this before you go out and eventually start dating. How to pay a tip. What does that look like? And we just had some of the best family moments doing that. It really was a lot of fun. I don't know that my boys loved opening the doors for their sister all the time, but they grew to love it. And we had a lot of fun with that. So that's definitely something. But, funny moments with our kids. I love to watch movies with our kids. As a family. And so that was going to be something that we do at some point throughout the week, is just have a movie night. Popcorn was always going to be a part of that. And then, I would say that anytime we could get outside, if it's nice enough weather to get outside in the evening and get a fire in the fire pit, I would say that tops off a pretty awesome day right there.
Yeah.
Especially as they've gotten older, our conversations are just different, and it's fun. But when they were little, like Anna Kate got into this stage one time where she was making duct tape dresses and duct tape clothing and duct tape wallets.
They were popular.
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It
I
was
remember
to her.
the wallets, but not like clothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Girls would go and make like their prom dress out of duct tape.
Yes.
Like they went all
She
out.
rocked a dress to Lake Ridge High School duct tape dress. Now, she's humiliated that I would bring it up right now. Sorry, babe.
Anna Kate.
But those were hilarious moments for us to watch their creativity. Both my boys picked up the guitar and just loved doing music and learning music. So that's just been fun to watch. And all three of them were involved in theater. And so a lot of joy for Stephanie and I just watching them come alive on stage and be these little humans that we always dreamed they could be, but had never really seen them do these things, from whether it's singing or performing in a theater, some kind of a show, which was just really fun for us to just go, wow, this is amazing. And so truly some of the greatest joys of our life for sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, I mean, each of them are now in college, graduating college.
Yeah.
You know, they're moving on to their next stage of life. But you already mentioned you and Stephanie are now in a new stage of life as well as empty nesters. What have you been learning maybe from this as you've, you know, entered into this stage, and any advice for any other parents who are, you know, trying to figure out, man, the house is much more quiet now. Like we have all this time to ourselves now. What do we do? Any advice or anything you're learning?
Yeah. So I'm realizing a couple things. Steph will laugh at this, hopefully not be upset with me, but she got a lot of words out before I came home from work, before the kids left home.
Yep.
What I mean by that is that they would all get home about the time school's over, and they would talk a lot. And so it's not that she didn't have words to share with me when I got home. It's just now she has a lot more words to share with me when I get home. And so that's been an adjustment for me. I'm answering a lot of questions, and but we laugh. I would say we're laughing as much in our marriage right now as we ever have.
Wow.
And man, laughter is just good medicine.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about it. And so we're laughing with each other, some laughing at each other, but it has been different, but in good ways.
Yeah.
Like our phone calls and our walks in the evening. We try to walk as much as we can just in the evening. It's just a great way to decompress from the day, but just also to catch up and to talk through a lot of just how the day was, how we are, how our kids, what's going on in their lives. And so I look forward to those as much as anything.
Yeah.
And we still got a couple of dogs at the house.
So they're still keeping you busy.
Yes, yes. It still feels like we have kids in the house most of the time.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's fun too. Now you're getting, as you mentioned, your just roll with your kids changes now.
Yeah,
it's you've now moved into, like you said, you were in more as they graduated high school, that coach relationship, but now it's moving more. Hey, our conversations are different. We're more in that friend stage now. And I'm sure that's a really fun, sweet place to be. Yeah.
It is a fun place. Our conversations just are different, and their phone calls and their questions are just different. And so you do feel like you're just interacting more with a friend, even though we both feel that responsibility of, hey, we want to give them guidance and counsel, and that matters to us. But man, it's a lot of fun, and we just get to enjoy those relationships and friendships now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, as we kind of start to land the plane on the episode, we've got a little bit of a lightning round.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring it.
Lightning round questioning for you. So maybe a little bit of either or, this or that type of questions.
Okay. All right.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
In the morning, night, all day?
All the above.
Any day, all day.
Any day, all day.
All day, every day.
No decaf. All right, straight gas.
No.
Text message or a phone call?
Phone call.
Phone call all the way.
Ooh.
Early bird or night owl?
Early.
How early?
I was like, how early?
5 a.m.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Are we like just getting up, or are we like actually functioning and like talking to people?
No, I don't want to talk to anybody at 5 a.m.
Okay. And
Sorry.
not until you had your
Sorry.
coffee.
Yeah, I purposely wake up 1 hour before Stephanie. And for me, that's 5 a.m. because I really need a slow entry into my day.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Nice.
Yeah.
Road trip or staycation?
Man,
Oh,
staycation.
really?
Yes, I'm a homebody.
I mean, you met your spouse on a road trip.
I know. I did. Stephanie is definitely a road trip person. So I get enough road trip and just her wanting to do a fun experience, to do something. And so when I want to veg, it's usually hang at the house.
Nice. Any favorite road trips come to mind? Just off the top of your head?
The one I met my wife.
Okay, well,
Good answer.
okay, I walked into that one.
did.
Whatever.
You did.
Here's one: parenting boys or girls?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes to both.
Both?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
we'll take that.
You don't have to say their name.
I'm not saying
Yeah, you've got
anything,
have-
but yes.
Okay.
And then mountains or beach?
Mountains.
All the way.
All the way.
Nice.
it's just more to do. I don't know that. I mean, all I've really done is Colorado, multiple places in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
but from snow skiing to different times of the year, running, mountain biking, you just feels like you have more options. I love the beach. I don't love the sand.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And then it's like when you're not at the beach, what do?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're at the beach, but it's not, you're tired of being on the beach.
But you don't want to get in the water.
Yeah.
You know,
In the
yeah.
mountains,
I'm
you're
with you.
like, okay, sweatshirt, cup of coffee, still beautiful. It's just mountains all the way.
I mean, you could go sweatshirt, cup of coffee at the beach. It'd just be
Yeah,
a terrible.
but you could
experience.
At
sweat.
5 a.m.
At 5 a.m.
No, not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't like sand all over you all the time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
However many showers, it does not matter.
I'm
You're
also
still
very
walking
pale,
around.
so that
Yeah, you
I
can't be
don't.
at the beach very
I don't
long.
get along with the beach well.
Same.
We can fix that. You could tattoo your whole body and you
And
wouldn't be pale.
we're gonna go back to a conversation on tattoos now. No,
That'll be the next podcast.
Yeah.
Marty
Pastors and
will come
tattoos.
back with just
Oh.
fully covered.
Full sleeves.
It would
Hey,
never happen.
As we kind of close this down, and this has been great, just getting to our people, just
Thank
getting an
you.
inside
Yeah.
look at you, and just getting to hear your heart. As we mentioned earlier, you're coming up on just this season of celebration of you
Yeah.
being here at Rush Creek for so long. Just maybe 60 seconds, just a word for people. What are you looking forward to just in the next, I won't say another 15, 20 years, because that's a long time.
It
but
is a long time.
just in the near future, like, what are you excited about God doing here at Rush Creek as
Yeah.
lead pastor?
As for me personally, I'm excited and to really just be able to focus on. I think early on in your ministry, you focus on everything, and you feel very scattered. And I think just in the next 10 to 12, 15 years, being able to focus, and for the people of Rush Creek to focus on what is it that we really want God to accomplish in us and through us. I'm most excited about that as pastor. And I think that our staff and our church will be getting excited about that in the coming years.
Well, I know I'm excited for what God has
Thanks,
ahead.
Ryan.
So
Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for
you
joining
guys.
us. This is really fun. This was a
Yes.
super lighthearted one.
Love you guys.
So,
Appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you. And thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Rush Creek Podcast. We're so glad that you join us each and every Monday for a new episode. Make sure you join us again next week, because we'll be back with another great episode, another great conversation. Like I said at the beginning, make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your platform of choice is. Give us a great rating that helps us out, gets the word out, so we can continue to share this podcast with others, helping them and you become forerunners of the faith, united to help people find and follow Jesus. We will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Rush Creek Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Join us every Monday to make this your favorite weekly habit.
See you next week.